What's up, America? Please stand by. Hey, this is Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony here, 10 o'clock talks. Welcome in, welcome in. 5/3/2021. It's a new month. New month. Yes, we are. We are the 10. Well, check that out. This is 10 o'clock talks. Welcome in. Hello, Pittsburgh. Hello, all my neighbors, my neighbors. Yeah. Hey, always remember, support somebody's dream. Really important. Wherever you go, it's a dream. People in business and so forth. A lot are not doing so well. I also want to say this though. Try to treat all these essentials with a little bit of respect. A lot of people that are working have told me they're running into this. Not saying anything, not judging. Just, as far as the essentials, let's keep a positive note to these people. They're out there for us. They're working for us in restaurants, bars, bringing our food in, driving these trucks. Man, they're rockers. They have never stopped. They've always worked, and that's very, very important. And we have to be respectful to these people. Thank you for letting me say that. All right. So, yeah, not too bad of a day in Pittsburgh. I hope your day was all right. Ours was quite rainy. I had a friend that was telling me tornadoes were in her neighborhood. Hopefully she's well. Hello, April. I'm going to get to a couple things here. First off, I want to apologize. Last night's feeds were just nuts. They were. It was like I couldn't say nothing right or just upon words that I said. Coincidentally, things happened. My feeds got cut and so forth. So, it is what it is. I do apologize for that. And I'm going to try to network some things together and make a correction on that. You'll be able to find it on YouTube. In the meantime, let me get to this. There's crazy stories out there over the weekend and everything. I didn't talk about that in my part 1 and 2, and also went into a 3 last night. But this is what's really going down in America. We're going to go down with America right now. Judge dismisses a lawsuit on refunds to people that paid for their children's, tuitions, college tuitions. And judge says no reimbursements. Wow. I mean, huge money, unable to be taught professionally by the educational system and, in whom they trusted. Parents are like, it's not a good time, we're paying for something you guys are no longer providing. I get that. It's like our taxes. They're not doing nothing for us either, not in a big way, and they haven't in almost a year with all this. But yet we're all told we must pay. I guess that's part really of what the little breadcrumbs are for, Sprinkle them around your city to pay your taxes, a blanket system to basically cover a system. I don't know. It just makes you wonder. I probably think a little too much on that, but facts are facts sometimes when you think about it. I mean, what good is a stimulus for unless you're basically paying bills, right? So, yeah, they're going to come first. Did it right in tax season, etc. All right, and then the big news on this, too. Did you know we're having a new car and truck shortage? Yeah, it seems that the chip that runs the board, the track chip, whatever it does, controls the computer onboard service system, there's a shortage. So there's plenty of cars, they just can't finish putting them together. So that seems to be a problem, which is now making an increase on the used car market up to 20 to 25%. So if you had a blue book value, this is a hypothetical thing. Say it was 5,000. Well, guess what? They're going to pay you 6 now because there's no market, there's no cars. Weird, huh? But true. That's what's being said. Well, where does this stuff come from? Did someone say China? Taiwan? Yeah, well, you're probably right. You're probably right if you were thinking that. What's that deal about? Is that how we stop, the gasoline engine, diesel engines from running? I don't know. How long will it take? I'm not sure. I did have some direct information, though. I know about car dealings. Anybody knows me in Pittsburgh, you know that. They're claiming there's over 400, and just in one dealership, there was over 400 trucks ordered and only 14 are available. Impressive, impressive. And like Trump said way in the beginning, he knew the car market would do great. Is this an attack mechanism? Because anything that Trump's going to do, it's like something's always weird about it. Something plays a party to it. Yeah. So, brand new car shortages. And $1 billion going to Mexico for development of new electric motor vehicles. No wonder why Ford jumped. Think about that. Think about it. Who did who know? Who did who know? And now GM cars are also considering this big move as well. So yeah, we were all talking Ford. Let's boycott them. La la la. Boy, man, follow the money trail when it's working hard, right? This is going to be unbelievable to you. I mean, maybe I just didn't think about it. There's a lot of stuff here. I've told you about it. We've talked about it. You've told me things. Chicken shortages. Chickens. Feed chickens like we make chicken legs, chicken breasts. Shortage. Beware, it's coming. The only marketable items from now that I'm aware of is they're going to try to keep restaurants alive, but your dinner plate empty for a while. That's what we're being told. And it's true. It was all over the media Sunday. If you check that out, I'm not seeing too much in post on it. Maybe people missed it. Don't know. All right. So there's also a new war in the Vatican. We know a lot has taken place there. Boarded up. In some ways, I will say that most of the assets were seized. Yeah, I said that. You heard it. And I got a little more to tell you on that as well. It seems that the problem is going on up there now is we have a good side and a bad side. Isn't that the way it always is, though? And the Pope's laying out these orders to bishops and cardinals and bishops. And I guess they're in some type of argument. And now the Pope wants all of the, they might be hurting for some money. He wants all the cardinals and bishops that had special interest in developments in certain ways. Where this all lays in private sector as far as their own pockets privately or within the Vatican business itself, he wants them investigated and so forth. Also, he's sort of campaigning and trying to name new candidates for new positions throughout the Vatican administration. Because I'm not going to call them the priest anymore. This is too corporate. It's too corporate. It's about the buck. And how many have our families not given them? Wouldn't it be nice if we could retrieve what our family had given them over the years with some interest, not to say any less than that. But yeah, so check that out. And I also want to tell you, some people did see this. The parents in Arizona sort of like flipped out, and they went to the school board, and they were calm in a peaceful protest, raising their voices. And I guess the board said, we had enough of this. We don't want to be in the middle of it no more. And they basically walked out. And right then and there was an appointment to a new board and placed in place. And I believe the first order of business was not to have to wear masks any longer unless you actually wanted to wear a mask. So it was all up to the individual, and that was the first order of business that took place while they were still in the hallway waiting to get their seats on the inside. I thought that was pretty crazy. Now you got this new family plan, the American plan, all these things. I mean, it's just crazy, and it really is crazy. If it isn't on the left, it's on the right, and if it ain't, it's somewhere else, but it still isn't no good. So you got this plan, and I've talked about it, and it's like, all these people on unemployment, and we're going to build this mega billions of dollars structure. It's going to create new jobs, and everybody's going to just thrive. Really? You're going to wait a year to get this going? Why can't you give an employee essential incentive to go back to work, get them off the unemployment, and get these weak people back off their butts to go to work. Get America rolling. They don't look at things in the same logic, I don't think, as the American worker. They don't. And I see job signs everywhere. I've even offered what I do here in my APC broadcast to my neighborhood. If anybody needed to get anywhere to do an application, to fill out, to get a job, I even offered to take them. I not had one person that, I hope somebody went. You can only preach it. You can, uh, you say what you can say to the public when you're talking through these microphones. And that's what it is. My opinion is only going to be as good as my opinion is going to be, and other people aren't always going to weigh into that the same way. And I had Jeffrey Smith weigh in on that today, and I will address that in a moment, Jeffrey Smith. I will. Not in a bad way, bud. Not in a bad way. Because I appreciate you. I appreciate negativity. I appreciate positivity. It all works to the plan. It really does. We have differences. We indeed agree to disagree. I'm all on board on that. But let's talk about these the 1% and the 39% 0.6 capital gain tax, and that'll also, and it's not really so much that you're going to even be paying more. Now they're trying to put the money into a more of a monumental number, and they're talking like $1 million. So let's just say this: on a capital gain, if you would sell a property and it was $1 million, you're paying them 39% of that million. What is that? $390,000? Wow. Wow, what are they raping out of our pockets, right? Come on. Anyway, you're going to see a lot more changes and a lot more negativity showing up regarding all these things. You really will. It's coming. It's right there. But while all this is going on, at any time, a foot could come kicking through a door and shed a new light to all this. So keep that positivity there in mind. Don't forget it. I spoke on that over the weekend. Somebody's still in the picture. Much harder than what people want to, in some cases, want to believe. But it's true. It's true. All right. So I hope y'all had a good day. This is kind of where I always talk a little bit and then I run my mouth a different way. But no, I mean, seriously, I hope you had a good day. I hope your weekend was well. I come to you out of Pittsburgh. Hello, hello. And to all the Facebook people and YouTubers out there, check this out on Upload tonight. Make sure you like, share, follow if you want to. You don't have to. It'll be what it is that way. And just know that I appreciate you, and I always appreciate the information and the conversations we have together as people before I do this stuff every day. Know that I appreciate you. I really do. So my thing is this, when it comes to this, capital gain, only tax the rich 1%. There's got to be some eye closer to that. I know I talked about this the other day, but I just can't fathom on how this is supposed to work and the time manner that they're considering it to work, and especially with the other trillions that they want. Because not only are they asking for so much right now, they already have a bigger plan for more to be asked for. So it's weird. It's really weird. It's not going to be the fastest turnaround of events in history. There's just no way that's going to happen. People are going to have to work, and they will be expected to work to basically, cut this narrative of their so-called need for this money, which will benefit, remember this, which is really going to benefit the people of who they're involved with. And there's not a dot on that, So the ones that play the markets and buy the stocks, involved with the John Kerry BS bullshit that we know is going on there, and the leak that occurred, the investments. I mean, they really need to remove this guy. I mean, we had heavier ammo on Biden, and we can't even move him out, at least not right now. But let's just say that's all part of the plan of how they bury themselves. 6 foot under is the way they're headed. It's the way they're headed, and they're openly asking for it. So, that's the way it is. I want to say a little bit more on Giuliani's laptop. I mean, he even offered the information to the FBI, and they did not want it while they were doing the warrant. That just freaks me out. But the truth of the matter is, so much of it is out there in America. Even if they were to take what he had, somebody else is going to expose it from another avenue, another IP address, another name. It will keep coming on, and they will use it where they need to use it to show precedent of authority and protection on the side of the good. And that's how it would work. It really would. But I understand where they're coming at with that. I really do. Such a well respected man, a fighter, a leader for the American people, New York City. Um, Unreal, unreal. But so that's still playing out there, and a lot of it doesn't make any sense at all. So, growing number of people are still having concerns of this narrative of the Frankenshot, and you can't blame anybody for it because every day something new and something more, and another face of authority, educated authority, comes out and has a lot to say about these things, and it's true. It's true. All right, let me just do a quick look down here on what I got here. Just my eyeballs. Excuse me. Yeah, I was thinking I should come out hot and really talk about something really fast and loud. That just riles people up sometimes too much. It just does. And then I find myself watching people really getting aggressive on posts and so forth. I don't want to like push anybody the wrong way. All your buttons are important to me. I don't want to push them. What I want for you to do is just stay strong. Be a patriot as you are. And I want to say this. Women are so strong when it comes to this support system. And I find that to be true. I'm sorry. And I'm nobody special. But I know who talks to me. I know who promotes and finds and educates me. They're just rock stars. You ladies are wonderful people. You really, and I'm not doubting the men. And I know what you're thinking out there, and well, a possibility of what you're thinking is, and you're coming with the hard ammo, and I bet you will. I'll just say it like that, and I hope you get what I was saying from how I said it that way. All right, so this January 6th Biden thoughts. And what he said, I just, this kind of blew me away. And this is an older statement now. It's going back like 10 days. But, I catch things. I don't always get to read them off, or think about them as I'm going through what I go through in the night when I talk to everybody. But him to say the unrest of all this that had occurred on the 6th at the Capitol was like a riot to the Civil War. First off, I don't quite understand that, but I think I get what it means, but I don't think this guy thinks with a full bull marbles anymore either. If in fact who we're looking at is the real kid, Joe Biden, okay? The bottom line, you know where I'm going with that. A lot of people have beliefs. It's the A1, it's the technology, it's a stand-in. It very well could be. It very well could be. I don't know what the plot is on the right. Although I do have some really good ideas, and because I might have some really good information, it gives me a little bit. But as I said yesterday and last night, if you didn't hear it, I'll say it again. The old saying goes, believe only half of what you see and nothing what you hear, at least the first time. When something comes out and it starts to rest and it's not going anywhere, then you can kind of absorb that as being very confident, being very measurable, accurate information. But yeah, so, he talks these stupid narratives that he has, like the crow and all this other stuff. I don't know where he was going with that, but I mean, let me put it to you this way, in my thought. I mean, what the F, right? We know now, days ahead, they knew about all this and more. Where's that information? Well, that information gets suppressed because there's a protection clause to all that is involved in this cult. That's the bottom line. But we knew the info, and there was a threat, and it was going to come, and it was going to happen. We knew the lies, and that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. They're charging people, with crimes, and a lot of them, just made an innocent mistake by walking in behind all the criminals that were really performing all the actions. And again, we pretty much can put that blanket together and over our heads and say, set up. because it was all widely too known. It was just too known. I spoke on that. Please refer back into some of my videos. You'll see it. I got hours and hours of stuff there. Check them out. Check them out. Really, you'll find me moody. I come in different fashions every night. I never know where I'm going to go, and I could read a sentence off what I write, and all of a sudden, like a click of the switch, and I'm in a different direction. I truly am. And we live in a government that's turmoil. It's just a disappointment to all of Americans. Every one of us. It's a disappointment. Now, here's something new too. If you're a swimming pool owner, take you into a different direction. Calm the nerves just for a minute. Um, my information tells me these chemicals are being used and sprayed to start executing this climate control pattern plan that is well underway where I'm at. Believe me, even right now as I speak and look out my glass, I can tell you it's underway. It's been underway. It's always been underway, but I also know it to be a little bit different now. But swimming pool chemicals, yeah, how about that? There's going to be a shortage of those as well. So you might want to consider going to the sea salt pool. I don't know. I guess you can do just a changeover if you find that lucrative enough to do versus really not being able to care for your swimming pool this year. And there is going to be a shortage, and the price is going to get pretty damn high for the chemicals. So just keep that in mind and put two and two together. You'll find out where these chemicals are truly going. Some fire. Yeah, some fire. Little garbage campfire, and it gets blamed on all this other stuff. And again, a narrative. They need to give an excuse. That's the excuse. That's what you're going to deal with if you have a swimming pool. So they're again with them being told now about the 4th of July and live music canceled. Well, I tell you what, they're not going to cancel my band. It doesn't happen. It won't work. And I hope for a lot of other people out there that they feel the same way and they continue to do the same things as they have their parties at their houses. Don't be suppressed to this. Don't be suppressed to this. Be the Americans who you are. Be strong. You're beautiful, smart, intelligent people. I always say that. You always hear that from me. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And there's nothing more healthier than, interacting with other human beings. Do it. Do it. Don't lie down to all this bureaucratic nonsense that they are beating into our heads. And you can thank the media for that for the most part. And I'll say a little more on that too as I speak. But a couple other things here. And I don't know if this is true to fact. I've seen a couple things. I don't know if I can trust the news on them. But it seems that the Biden administration is now trying to push the narrative with some force or more force, because I don't know how much was actually used from the get-go, or there was choice to it all. But, it seems that they want to pressure all of our military groups, all of them together, and making sure that they get their Franken shot, the hit in the arm. So I'm opposed to that, and I don't believe that that's, the America that so many Americans died for, to be put into a position like this. But we know they've done this before, and it was harmful to our soldiers. We know that there are true facts to this, and there were hearings over it. There were. So, again, I talked a little bit about certain things that happened in 1945, 46, 249, 216 independent litigation cases that went towards and against some of the Germans for crimes on humanity and so forth. And they called them, the Nuremberg trials and so forth. And I already know for a fact that there's things being set up and lined up through really educated medical people who can testify and, go after the United States and Fauci and Gates and everybody and Wuhan and everybody involved in what's going on to halt this crazy bullshit that we're living in. And that's the truth. I really hope it works out. But to do this to our troops and employers as well, and now adding other incentives to them as well, taking in illegals, getting time off, getting paid additional monies, and so forth. And now these children need a place to go, but now we're getting the numbers are doubling and tripling. We are not even in the same status as where we were when I talked about this weeks and weeks ago as this all started with the open border. It hasn't. And CDC doesn't even require these people to get, come on, the border's open. You don't need no vaccine. You're fine. You'll be fine. Just go into America, spend some money. Here's your plane ticket. La, la. Now, this is where the part that angers me a lot. But it's the truth, and I know you all know this. So I won't stay long on it. But does any of this really make sense? Really. Is it even an anger issue to us at this point? It's been fed so many times in different narratives. It's basically you just want to tell him to go F himself, and that's where you're at. And I'm trying to stay. I know sometimes when people listen to this, I don't want to use too bad of language, but these are a bunch of assholes, man. That's all you can say about them. That's all you can say about them. Yeah, and then we have a crisis at the border now where we're finding out that we have some of our officers down there on the take by the cartel, leaving areas open for them to go through. Now, isn't that a crock of shit? I mean, really, isn't it? Who's down there investigating these officers, not watching them? I mean, I know there's other things going on, sheriff departments and, the Texas Rangers and all the good patriots, down there, patriots at large, trying to expose everything they can. God bless these guys, man, the footwork that Terry and his people do. It's unreal. Hats off always to you, brother, always. I want you to know that. I really do. And it's important that I say it, and I'll always pay you some type of thanks because America should be doing that to you as well. You guys are rock stars. Keep up your good work. So let me get to this a little bit. It's kind of like fast. In Pittsburgh here, we have this real unusual thing. And it's not unusual, and I could see sense to some of it, but not all of it. If they're going to tax everything and now come up with park taxes and everything else that are outside of the realm of property taxes, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't support it, because you must support it because we passed the law to support it, even if we didn't tell everybody it was going to happen. Well, and then you have these bicycle lanes. And, I bring this up because I seen things when I was out picking up some stuff. I had to go get a leaf blower and some stuff, living general life. And I'm watching people, and I really feel for these people who have the kids in the back on these bikes. They have like a seat for the kids. Man, I saw two instances that were so close called, and they're not even paying attention to these laws. I mean, we should have some kind of tax and testing for these people because there was a time where you had to know how to ride a bicycle. It came in some of the manuals on driving and so forth that kind of was affiliated to it. There was rules. Now it's like they just have the free. They don't respect lights. I mean, some do. Don't get me wrong. But I guess where I'm getting at, too, is, if you're going to tax everything in America, why not tax that, too? Why not throw that into the organization with it? Why don't we tax food stamps? I mean, really, why don't they tax SSI and SSDI? I mean, we know, depending upon where you live, some states are free, and that is just not good for me. That doesn't sit well in my stomach at all. To just take more and more from people who are on low income, there's a term for it. I can't think of it right now, but that's okay. You guys know where I'm going with that. They only have what they have. And then you have the penalization on and offsets to workman's comp that crushes people, but yet charge no tax on free housing. I mean, really? We are doing a lot. We've always done a lot for low income. Now, the Biden administration is doing so well for low income homes. It's $36,000 more material cost to build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, plus the increase of labor rate that topples that, because the fact is it's usually 2.5 times the rate of the cost on labor above the materials. So now we're talking over $100,000 in addition on that particular home. So let's just say it was $100,000. Well, now it's going to be $200,000. And that's kind of what it is, and that's where the narrative fits. So how do you create affordable homes? Keep doing what you're doing, Biden. Keep doing what you're doing, Washington. You're making a whole lot of sense. And then they tax the unemployment. But, cash assistance, it's all free money, And if you have children and you didn't work and you were on tax assistance and food stamps and you have 7 children, well, guess what? You're going to clean house now. Oh, man. This is all the benefit Not us. Not us, the workers. No, it's not going to benefit us. All right. Anyway, I want to give you something else, like kind of trickery. It's true. I want you to pick up your phone if it's near you. Pick up another device if you have one by you. I want you to understand something when you look at your TV and what's really going on. I want you to Google US 6506148B2. Ask Google to find that for you. Has something to do with TV. I'll just leave it at that. US 6506148B2. Check it out. Check it out. It's interesting. I like interesting. I do like interesting. And don't forget what I told you, just a little brief going back real quick. You know, $1 billion to go to Mexico in support of the jobs to the new green car deals and Ford and GM and more. And, you know, the taxes and, you know, how they come up with them, I just don't really get it. Biden's thoughts on riots and you know, the issue up at the Capitol, you know, that have went down. So, yeah, keep these things in mind on the 6th. Canceling music, the only thing that's going to be existing in most areas, cities, states, although Disney did open. It's going to be fireworks, and for the most part, stay home or stay at a distance. Don't come near the city. Those kind of things. Giuliani's laptop. Judge dismisses lawsuits on the tuitions. Yeah, which, you know, that's hard. Like, man, people work hard. They do. And people that, like, you know, the words are fixed income, low, you know, Social Security, SSDI, and so forth. I mean, you know, tax us to death there, too, because they already are. Yeah, it's crazy. Now, you know, the one thing that really gets to me, though, is you get like these kings in business now, these really high percentage rate people. You know, Amazon profited over $23 billion and a half over their last year profits, and they were already up. And yet, for months now, I know that some of their subsidiaries and locations and warehouses, they're denying their employees pretty much anything, you know, to make their job more safe, healthier, and better health cares and so forth. I mean, they can't throw $1 billion towards their employees that are making this money for them. You know, they're coming to work, and a lot of them are of color. They really are. A lot of them are of color, and that's bullshit. Again, you know, all this money, and you can't share a little bit more with the American people, the ones that put you there. That's, you know, just terrible stuff. So, yeah, they make all this money, but it's all about them. It's not really about you. And the comment that was made, actually, when it was done, if you don't like where you work, find somewhere else to go work. And I haven't heard any narrative of that change, and I haven't seen anything worked out, you know, yet. But what a sum of money when you think about it. What a sum of money. So then we, you know, move a little bit further into the climate justice and the racial injustices. And are they different? Not really. They're a narrative. They're now. Get used to them. That's America under the Biden and Harris administration. Yeah, well, yeah, I know you don't feel good about that. You can say whatever you want, you know, but I know where you're truly at. I was just trying to wake you up a little bit. So, you know, this might get you a little bit. Well, we know a lot just happened. It was kind of a whisper of things. Tribunal, armies, and different people involved taking down things and underground and on top and underneath, and the palace here and the Vatican there and the White House and Washington and all these low-lying areas that were being destroyed and so forth. And guess why? Technology up in the air, up in the heavens, the technology. So immediately now, they know an area. They left their pants down. Oh, yeah, well, they did. And now Harris must lead the Space Force. They have it renamed now, but, you know, Chronicle, I think maybe, Space Chronicle. I don't know. There's been a lot of names over the years. Believe me, we've been up here much longer. But you're going to find that out come into January at some point, maybe a little bit before. But I'm really thinking it's going to go mid-January. And there's going to be a big dump of information. It's already been coming out, and it's been pretty much on all your faves out there. I know you got faves who do what I do right now and talk about this stuff. They have a different outlook. They can bring guests on, powerful people. I can't. That's not who I am. I know little people. We get along. We do things. We have fun. But we're streaming between uh, ideas. We're streaming for informations and to supply you the best we can. At least the good, honest ones who don't try to really get involved to, trying to sell underwear and peanut butter, as I say. And I'll just stick to that narrative there, or technology for your computer, software that'll hide you in the world and all this. I'm sorry. That's a whole narrative of a different type of do-gooders to me. They're do-gooders. They still do, they look, they have people investigating stuff. They come in, they do a show. I'm not against them, and I'm not pitching a bitch about any one of them. They're really good at what they do. But again, I don't know. You should never profit on what you can do for your country when it's at war. To me, you just nah. So yeah, now you got Harris after all this happened. Well, now they want to take it over. I don't know what steps we'll have to do to get that, or if it will even be possible, especially knowing what's kind of coming to the surface in a really huge way. But they're struggling. They're failing. They're coming down, and they know they're coming down, and they're going to start pushing harder and harder. I don't know what they have planned. Totally, no, I don't. But it can't be good. It can't be good for America. It can't be good for the American people. But they'll keep pushing. I can't see her being in charge, but she's the vice president. Pence was the vice president. It was kind of like his handbag over his shoulder, and I don't even trust him. And I told people that to associate with me here. I told them right out, and they were like, "Oh, I like Pence," and I was like, "No, I don't trust him." And boy, did that pay off for me. I hit the nail on the head with that one. Some of my friends know who I'm talking about to them, and I'm not going to go any further with that, but it's true. It's true. Well, let's see what happens with that. Keep an open ear, because this is where the Pentagon, Space Force, and all this new information is being generated to be dumped. And it's going to be dumped, and it's going to be dumped hard, and it's already came out by very, well-known people of Washington. So, keep your ears open for that, because it's going to get much deeper than you would want to believe. What they know is going to be some serious stuff. And again, I'd like to sit and talk to you through that, but you'd have to come and check me out on my other YouTube channel where is it paranormal or is it something else? And if you'd like to do that, you would have to find me on a different type of platform, and I am there. I do a weekly on that. So anyway, let's see where else I can go here. I got a lot of things, but I'm going to try to give you a little bit better of a quick delivery. Excuse me. Just real quickly on last night, and what I was saying earlier on these trials. It's held and done by the London Charters and the Tribunal Military. They were established for things like we're going through right now. Forced Frankenshots, to try to give it to you that way. Failure of our leaders to uphold the Constitution to their own American people. But it's global. And you know what? I got to say this too. And I said this back weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Please look and check. You'll if you fact find me, you'll find it. I told you Trump's a global leader, and he sure is. People just aren't getting it quite yet. Lots in work, lots out there, a lot of information slowly getting dropped. I'm not joking. There's things going on. But in the meantime, we got to face what's in front of us daily and keep the grassroots fight going, because that's what Trump told us to do. I hope you do that for him. I really do. There's a purpose for every one of us. Some way or another, we can all play a party to something to help America and help our issues that we're going through. And I understand, some people don't have all that strength, or, they have a shyness of they're giving their own opinion. They have a fear of doing it. I got no fear of it, man. I'm going to let it rip when it comes. When it rips, it rips. That's just the way it is. But the military tribal laws and everything that were established, I cannot wait to see hit U.S. government, China, globalists, Gates, Fauci, Wuhan, labs, and more. And, there will be a process. There will be a setup. There will be arrest taking place. There will be a lot of speculation, however, on how things go down. But I think if you watch, listen, and learn, you're going to get be quite impressed with what will come. And I want you to listen to two people I think that are going to be very important trigger components to this. And there's more than that, as well as some of the broadcasters and private podcasters that do their own shows and whatnot. But I tell you what, if you want to stay close, there's only 3 people, 4 people, 5 people to stay close to. If it's not one of Donald J. Trump's children, keep the kids out of the picture there as much as you can. Keep them safe because we're in hard times and we are in a place of war in our own state against our own government. You know that. But Linwood has a lot to say. Damn it, doesn't he? Wow. And like I said, some of these things too. And sometimes I wonder, like, when I listen to Ward and some of these other people, some of these heavies out there that have been out there for 20, 30 years that do a narrative all over the page of, theories and that are theorists, cult theorists, and so forth. But I mean, stay by Flynn, definitely. Stay by Mike Lindell, definitely, and listen to the words spoken. And I got to tell you, Linwood's been spilling some shit, man. He's not afraid to. And I'll take you back to a date years ago. David Wilcox was right on the money, man. He called all this stuff. He called all of this outright. And he's been very quiet lately. And we know that he has a lot of really good connections in the United States government. He has people who have leaked to him many times, and all have came reasonably true, honestly. I can say everything that I followed and understood and listened to and checking out the lectures with him and 10 other people that I know have been around as long as I have, because I've been around just as long as them guys. They had as a life narrative to do it. I had to work and feed a family and feed myself and worry about where I was at in my lifetime. But, I got to tell you, man, he can sound a little strange at times, but David Wilcox was a rock star, and he doesn't lie, man. And sometimes things sound a little bizarre. And I always tell everybody this, too, because of what I know and who I know. And believe in the unbelievable, because you're about to get a real eye-opener of stuff. You really are. So, yeah, check these people out. It's real important you do. And the only thing I can't tell you or talk about that I can guarantee you is dates, names, and times as follows now. I just can't give any of what I don't have. I do have, and you know who they are. You post pictures of all of them. We know who all the main people are that are involved in all these demonic and sick things and the destruction of our government and the narrative to isolate and separate and divide the American people, to hate each other, and to just, turn a great nation of America into just a deplorable place to want to live, But that's their narrative. That's what they're throwing at us. I'm not for it, never will be for it, and I know you aren't either. So just keep in the fight as strong as you can. Believe what you need to believe. And I do want to also apologize for that artifact of paper that I had that it turned out backwards. I'll pull it out another day. I'll put on some gloves. I'll do it the right way. It is mine. It's factual. And it's nothing that will help or change anything right now, but it supports our Constitution. 100% it does, 100%. And I'll share that back with you guys because I collect a lot of things like that. I really do. Hard to get a hold of, but, if you're in the right place at the right time, things can come to you. And they were all over the place 25 years ago when I started looking for it, but that group of people now, mainly have gone. Their kids didn't want the stuff. It's just weird, how I come across some of the things that I did. So anyway, keep that in mind. It was just, more of like sharing with you. And I apologize that it didn't come out right. All right, let me do a little reading here as I do like a little closeout for you. And thank you guys for always checking out me here, Michael Anthony on the 10. This is 10 O'Clock Talks. And I enjoy your company. I really do. And I thank you guys. I hope I don't overwhelm you by doing this every night. If I am, please let me know. And, so I can tell on the views too, but that doesn't mean you don't like me. It just means to me in my mind, and I'm not debating anything here. Truly, I'm not. It is what it is. It'll be what it can be. Information's everything, though, and you should know every bit that you can get from everybody. But you can't do it all day. I respect that. I know you can't. So, again, I want to just say to you, with what I know is coming out, some of the things I shared last night, suppressed histories, and all these things, the truths that are going to start to widely over this year come out and put us in a really weird spot, I still think, in about 5 months. So protect yourself. We're seeing shortages happening already, and I've already mentioned to you more of that to be on hand. Have your water, have your canned chicken, have your beans. I mean, really, get things. No joke, get things. Don't go nuts. Don't go nuts. Paper products are going to be another major issue. Not a dot in my mind. They know how to hit the narrative to, they do it in a way to where, they're going to take, like, your insanity away in ways, because, people freak out when they can't get toilet paper. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But try to stay ahead of this game, because now, like, we're no more chicken, no new cars, materials to make. Come on, how do you run out of materials to make these chips? That's all you people do is make chips. You make them so small you can inject them into people in different ways, and smaller with smart nano. Anyway, I don't want to get into that too deep. It's not really the typical thing of the where I was going today. But yeah, I could go there. Think about it. Think about it. Some of these things are starting to happen. If you think things are going to get worse from it, they are, and I want you to believe that they will. All I want you to do is stay protective as much as you can. And I want to say this too. When IRS started out, because this is another bunch of crock of bullshit that we live in. Everything that I find and that indicates is it was all done by voluntary, but now it's mandatory. Don't know where that all worked out. And I know our country now. Well, if let's say the door gets kicked on, military takes over. They're going to need all the support they can get to get this country back on track. So it will be then looked upon as voluntary and maybe half mandatory, just because it's going to take every bit of every one of us to get this country state straight with the amounts of money that they fed out to the people of these countries. And the agenda was not about the American people or ever America itself. It was about a global network caring for them so they could control it all. And I assure you, they don't have the control that they think that they have. They just don't. And these money trails, like I told you, they're out there. They're easy to find. But keep in mind, the IRS is not really your best friend. It's part of the deep. And if I'm not mistaken, it may have been actually started as a corporate Puerto Rican corporation or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I really believe in my mind. That's what I remember on it. Don't test me. But yeah, go ahead. What the hell? Let me know if I'm wrong or right. Yeah, so they want all this to all happen again and whatnot, and they want us to believe what they want us to believe. But we can't do that. So yeah, I can tell you this though: if you're thinking about moving, I brought this up before. Well, it's pretty much factual now. If you pay $4 million for a home, 5 years ago in Texas, guess what? It's 8 now. Everything is doubled down there. You're not getting anything. Like people now want to run out of the blue states, go to the reds, where people in positivity and supporter for the people, like Florida, Texas, and Dakotas and so forth. Yeah, now it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to make that move, and it's just weird, but it's true. It's how much all this has cost and put America into a future economic rise of certain things, and it will have a fall. If you pay $8 million for that home, it could very well fall to $4 million, and there you are, right back where you were so many years back when that all happened, and the whole housing market fell, and the banking structure fell, and all those people were losing their homes, and they did lose them. Yeah, did they protect a little bit through Fannie Mae and all this? Oh yeah, they put their foot down real hard. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. There were so many homes out there, it was pathetic, that went blank, and that's the truth of it. So yeah, craziness on where we're going to be in the housing market, affordable housing market, and so forth. And again, this American Rescue, if you do your research, it's not really doing anything. What did they do for any of these? When we see these kids in these hospitals like St. Jude's and so forth, I mean, where they could have did good with all these billions and billions. And why didn't they throw 100 billion to these people to create the cure? You know why? Because they probably know the cure, but pharma can't make the money. You didn't see nothing like this. If it was really an American rescue, wouldn't it have been to fight not just the disease or whatever this fake flu, whatever thing? I'm not saying it's not real, but you get it. And it's just, why? But nothing to help cure anything else, or heart disease, or help people continue with life. No, their narrative is in a different direction. It's a long-term plan. It's like I said, the Georgia Guidestones, that was no lie. People didn't put them up for any reason. They were put there for a place. It's because it was an exposure. It was exposing what was going to happen and where they're going with all this. And now you have some other things that really blew my mind today too. And they're really true. They really are. Let me find where I wanted to go here real quick. Oregon. Okay, it's on the ballot now. I guess they would say it's an initiative for 2022. And it will be a criminal act if they find you to slaughter or breeding of cattle. Meats. Yeah, so check that out. Oregon. Look that up. You'll find I'm right on it. And this media reports and stuff, too. What a bunch of crap these people really are. They make the money. They sit, I got the face, I got the voice, and, they're living in the fake narrative of, and this is why I say this. The reason that they do this is because they're being told in ways how to generate your feelings. That's my mind. I think it's a matter of a narrative of how to control your feelings and make your day, and you know how you feel when you hear this stuff, when it comes out of their mouths. Man, how did we live every day? We had to listen to all this bullshit about Trump. Come on. Same difference. They put you in this mood, they get you there, and they basically want to tie you up, tie up your thought, tie up you from being productive, and don't let them stop you from being productive with all this negative motivation shit that they put on to us. Just don't let it happen. Don't let it happen at all. Just like the trillions of dollars to start jobs. Why do we need trillions more? And we already had job recoveries until Biden came in and started, stopping and following all these executive orders that took everybody's jobs away. So there you have that part of it, but it's true. It's really true. So, maybe if they would pay the workers more, the essentials a little bit more, maybe the people would get off the couches and, get out and go to work. Give them a reason to go to work when you put them in a place where they don't want to work. You're going to have to manage that a lot better, Biden and Harris. You're just going to have to do it. Come up with something better, because people are going to sit at home. And again, that could be your narrative. Get these illegals all the jobs and let these people say, I don't want to work, and they'll be able to have food stamps and cash assistance that's untaxed. And then you'll probably have to wind up paying their mortgage payments, whatever. And who worked for that? You'll work for that. So that's another part of where it is. And then you have the CDC, who pushes 200 million vaccinations. They want to get them out within the next 30 days. Really? These people are nuts here. They can't stick to one thing. We knew that was already in the works. But why they had to say it again, I don't know. But it seems to be getting pushed more from different avenues of different media of different countries. So it's just a plan. And that's where it's at. And then the CDC's regulating the cruise ships and everything else. And I think that's why Florida put their foot down and says, you know what? No more executive orders. We're not listening to them anymore. Anything you put or push on this state, we will be a free state. And that's the steps that DeSantis is taking to operate his city and his wide state of letting his people thrive and have their life. And then you have this travel restriction thing still. It's all about, how can we suppress? You got to get it. We're going to force you. They're not forcing you, but they're doing everything to make you get it, okay? So it's not being directly coming out of their mouth, even though the importance of it all is, just take it. It's like one of those things coming at you in a nightmare, It's just never ending. So we're still in that narrative with them on it, but yet, guess what? Never a comment to anybody in Washington about the open border and the thousands coming in. Never a comment. How dangerous is that if we're really involved in this big epidemic and now a new variant? there are some very true signs of a lot, tons and tons and hundreds of thousands of deaths going on in India. That I don't walk away from. What's really going on from people that I talk to said that's not the point. It's not the point of the sickness. The sickness is more on the control of the narrative of what's going on and blocking people from essentials and water and meats and foods and eggs and products and just to live. And they're dying from it. They're being basically starved off the earth, in a lot of ways. Now, I'm not saying that's everywhere, but that's what's coming out from people in India coming through America telling us over here this is what's going on. So I want to also put this out there, and I want these people I want all these people in BLM and Antifa to listen to this one real good, and you'll probably enjoy this well. There's a new force coming to town, and it's heading for all your leaders of every city and state. Prepare your asses. It's coming. I guarantee you that's going to happen real soon. It's already in the works. It's in the works. So if anybody out there is part of this or they got their kids in this, tell them to get prepared. They're going to take down the upper structure of it. They're going to take all these people down. Guarantee it. It's happening. People were sick of it. People were sick of it in the right place. So, what's happening to all the money trail? Let's talk about a little bit of a money trail. If so many things weren't really going on, if you follow the stock market, and I put hints up every day, China's still on the board on the stock market exchange. But guess what? You can't trade them. Go try. Go try. I'll just say that. Go try. So is Trump in some type of global control right now? Is he really more ahead than what we think? Well, it seems to me that Linwood thought so. It seems to me that some people that I knew also thought so. And it just seems to me when I said this, that Trump was global a long time ago and he could be president of the globe. Well, yeah, it may not be true to Russia, but a huge, huge portion of countries would definitely join on because whatever Trump does, everyone else will join in. And we see that there's a decline in the Biden and Harris administration of the leadership as to what they're seeing, being taught, the narratives, and they did not vote for that. That's not what the 177 countries and the Holy Seas voted on. That wasn't supposed to go like this, but it is going like that, and that's the way it's going. So that's what you have to it all. Anyway, yeah, Trump's a rock star. He's brilliant. More brilliant than people will ever give him credit for. He can play a hell of a game at chess. And he's not anywhere. I'll just say that to you. He's not anywhere right now, if that makes any sense to you, okay? Watch, look and learn. You'll see. So, and then again, we get this new narrative push again. Something happens to them on that side, guess they're going to push back on this side, just like in Arizona, even though, the count's continuing and things are going good. And they're trying. They sent 103 attorneys in, whatever, some lucky number element that they have people on payroll for. That's going, but it's still in our favor. Georgia's already being prepared. And you got New Hampshire and other places out there. I think Michigan's another one. And they're all taking these same narratives and steps to now start doing the same exact thing that happened in Arizona. I cannot wait to see where that goes. And again, the door can get kicked open at any time. Always keep that in mind. Could get kicked open at any time. Surprise, surprise, who's going to be standing on the other side? So anyway, the push on Matt Gaetz, they needed something to go back on. Trafficking. It doesn't look like it. Did he buy someone a ticket? Yeah, supposedly that part's true, but the affiliation as to who and how and when and why, they're not going to tell you the truth on that. So just, let's see where that goes. I'm sure something more will come out of it all. And then Biden, he decides he needs a new head of the ATF, and this guy is like totally against guns. Yeah, David Chipman. Another chip off the old block. The same type of move he made to protect his kid and Hunter and the laptop and the gun issue, if you remember that. It's true. So anyway, that said, Mitt Romney gets slapped off stage, booed off stage, and told him, he must have been told by 5,000 people to go F himself. So praises to these people, man, because they were rock stars, man. They let him know. He didn't know what to say. He really didn't. And I'm glad about it. And I just want to say to Jeff Smith here, brother, honestly, listen, we can agree to disagree on a lot of things. A conspiracy in many ways, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I say a lot of things. Pretty much blatantly told me I was an ass. So, I can take that. I can take a slap in the face just like Trump could. I don't know what you think, but from what I saw on your page, and yeah, I do read. Look, I do read. So if it makes any difference to you, I observed, I read flat earth theories, forced vax, the left racist life. Wow. How dumb is Biden? The constitutions, excuse me, are all under attack. The pastors are standing up for America. Hey, Jeff Smith, I do read. We're not much indifferent. You judge me however you feel you need to. But just so you know, Jeff Smith, you made my news here tonight. Thanks for being a part of it. Anyway, yeah, that might piss somebody off. I don't know, and I don't really care. If you're going to come down my throat, I'm going to go back down yours. And that's what I do, hey, it's just we're agreeing to disagree. I'm not against you, not in any way, shape, or form. Next time, try to make more sense out of your point if you have one. Anyway, so with that said, I pretty much got through everything I wanted to talk about here, just in some quick ways and whatnot. I have long lengths of some things I'm going to bring up through the week, and I didn't get the Friday's issue because other things had stampeded me. And we're going to get into something really deep on that for what I missed on Friday. But keep in mind what I told you about the stock market. Keep in mind, be a little nervous about Bitcoin. And when you find out who owns that, also one of the big, then you got China, one of the huge investors, but are told how to control what they're investing their money into through Facebook and Zuckerberg. But remember, it's all part of the government, the Chinese government, militants, and so forth. So, yeah, I hope you checked that and liked some of the things I talked about. I tried to keep a calm voice, keep you focused tonight. I want to thank you for, listening to me and enjoying the time we had together. I had today, what is it again? May 3rd, 2021. You guys are all rock stars. You're beautiful people. Remember, stay strong. Strength is everything. Health is everything also. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in, making us part of your day here. I am Michael Anthony. This is 10 O'Clock Talks. Man, you guys rock. You really do. Thanks for all your help. I appreciate all the information you feed me. It's beyond words. Honestly, it really is. So don't judge me. I won't judge you. Stay strong.